bags were horror lies.
Hello and welcome to Body Bags. My name is James and I'm your Sunday night reviewer. And this evening I've decided to bring you one of the anthologies from the period of like the 60s and 70s. We had many anthologies. This is the early to mid 70s. It's actually not an Amicus production, this one, but it's an English one. It's The Tales that Witness Madness. So we have a wraparound and 4 stories. And our wraparound is a psychiatrist, actually Donald Pleasance, and he has these 4 cases and he's proving that they are real. Obviously these people are kind of locked up, and he's going to prove, he said he has proof that they weren't lying in these situations. So the first one, we have a boy who's like kind of living with his parents. They're kind of they're arguing all the time, so I don't think they give him much attention. So he ends up getting an imaginary friend, which happens to be an imaginary tiger friend, who actually isn't imaginary at all. He keeps talking to it and feeding it, and then noticing like all this weird stuff going on, and like all the food is missing from the fridge, and they go to confront him, and the tiger pounces and has dinner, both the parents. The second one, we have the penny farthing. So it's a guy who inherits this penny farthing and a portrait of his uncle. It's actually sent to him from his aunt. And like weird things happen, and he's kind of drawn, literally like sucked on almost to this bike, to this penny farthing. And when he rides it, he's transported back in time. So it's kind of like a possession thing. It's kind of quite cool when you see the portrait and all this going on. You get a few different variations, like the eyes are mad and staring, and other times the eyes are looking to the side when something's happening. The eyes are looking at these things, which are it's quite nicely put together. And at the end, he sets fire to the bike and it all goes kind of a bit crazy. His wife gets killed by telekinesis from the picture. And yeah, it's kind of quite cool what happens in like setting the picture and the bike and everything on fire. We actually kind of half transports back to the period where he was like courting this lady, and it happens to be that what's happening to him in the real world is happening to him in this kind of fantasy, kind of Edwardian time sort of thing. Yeah, it's quite unusual. It is quite fun though. It's nice how it finishes as well. The next one we have Joan Collins. She's like a mistress, girlfriend, wife of this guy, this artist. Yeah. A carpenter sort of artist, and he's found this like log basically, and he's like dragging it back into the house. It's got these letters on there, like it spells like Mel, so he's calling it Mel, and he's like basically sculpting it into a woman. Progressively she's getting more and more jealous, and ends up as she goes to attack it with a machete, and he comes down and they show the machete, and he's like, okay, this finishes now, I'll take it out, I'll clean everything up. So you see him outside throwing the stuff away, and comes back in. It's like, okay, my love, it's all done, it's all tidied. Goes into the bedroom, and it's the tree there in the bed. And some dark comedy there. And then we have dark humour. The last one, it's basically these... I can't quite remember it now. My brain is switching off. It's basically cannibalism. In Hawaii, where there's these Hawaiian people, and it's this one guy like to either save his mom or give her safe passage to heaven or something like that. He has to make a sacrifice. Sacrifices like he has this. I think he's like a new agent or something. This woman, and she loves this guy, and she's like doing all this stuff for him and puts on a feast and that. It actually turns out like so her daughter is murdered by him, and then his kind of kind of, I was going to say sidekick. It's not really a sidekick. This guy that kind of looks after him and stuff like that. Supplies the meat for this party, and they're all eating the meat. She didn't realise it's like her daughter, kind of. And then at the end, we kind of go back to the to this psychiatric hospital. So Donald Pleasance is like trying to show all this stuff that's going on that he thinks he can see, but no one else can see it, so he gets carted off. And then the guy that's making all the calls on all this, who thinks it's just bullshit crazy, gets killed by the tiger in the end. So there we have it. Sorry, it's very tired. It's a long day. Kids had me up very early. It's Mother's Day here in Finland. One of my wife's presents, found out that she has COVID now, so it's been a bit of a long day, so I definitely need some sleep. I kind of half falling asleep during periods of this, and I like my anthologies and I was enjoying this, but just so tired. I need to watch it again, but I kind of wanted to just talk about it, get my thoughts out about it. But it's an enjoyable one. Like I said, it's very doesn't have the kind of, not the polish, the kind of the style from Amicus. It's kind of like missing it a little bit, but it's the same as some of the same actors in there, and it's kind of it does feel, you could easily mistake this for like an Amicus anthology, but it was a good one. It's worth watching, as they all are. But anyway, that's the end of the review. Hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you. Bye bye.